fishing again. Tall tales told with a mischievous grin. Reeling them in, running from the law. One big mess, but they'll never get caught. So grab your rod and grab your beer. If Jeb and Dan are near, steer clear. You might catch fish, you might lose cash, or end up caught in their next big splash.
Hi fishing fans, welcome back to Thinkum Dinkum channel. Have another Al's Angling Almanac special story about Jeb and Dan. This is episode 3, entitled Clarence. Our man Jeb has a common problem: neighbors. Some are very much appreciated, and some are the gatekeepers of the devil. Jeb has both, and both are brothers. Unfortunately for Jeb, the gate entrance is next to him. The gatekeeper, we will call Grog the Troll, had made living here a purgatory. Last night, Grog had his bedroom window open, playing loud music way into the night. When asked to turn it down, Grog laughed and turned up even higher, continuing through the night, and would never come to the door when knocked. This morning, Jeb told his old buddy Dan about the situation. Dan had a devilish smirk and spoke. Time to visit Clarence. Now, Clarence is a special character that sells discounted items down at the Wally World store. They give Clarence an entire aisle and broadcast his merchandise as Clarence items with little yellow stickers. Dan went up and down the aisle until Dan yelled out, "Eureka! Found it!" This should do the trick. Holding the found item from Jeb's view, Jeb gave Dan a puzzled look. Dan looked at Jeb saying, "You'll see." Back at Jeb's house, the mischief began as Dan located a much-needed item to complete the event and telling Jeb, "Let's go." Sneaking down the driveway adjacent to Grog's house, they creeped outside under Grog's bedroom open window. Dan handed Jeb a set of swimming nose plugs, saying, "Put these on, you're gonna need them." Dan opened the store bag and removed the mysterious item, a jar of something. Under the window outside is a crawlspace entrance for under the house. Dan moved the crawlspace door ajar and proceeded to toss the contents of the jar under the house, opening and realigning the door back. Dan said, "Here," handing Jeb the bag and continuing, "Let's get out of here." Back at Jeb's, he looked into the bag and went to his knees laughing. In the hot summer heat, old Dan tossed an entire jar of shad guts catfish bait in that crawlspace under Grog's open bedroom window. Getting rid of the evidence and opening a couple beverages, they sat on the front porch and awaited the result. Grog began swearing and gagging, yelling, "Oh my God, what is that? Smell!" Grog came running out by his window, looking around. Jeb yelled down to Grog, "You okay? What's all that hollering about?" Grog yelled back, "Can you smell that? It smells like dead rats." Jeb answered, "You might have killed them with all that loud music all night." Dan said, "That went so good we better stock up on catching some shad and put some homemade jars. We can go to Hudson for American shad. Shad will be the large red on all baits, but green on grasshopper on all depths. Yellow on lures, spoon, spinner, and worm, red on rest. We can jar a summer supply, labeling it Music Be Gone, Essence of Rat." Alright, let's go down to the Hudson and see if we can catch the American shad. Alright, so Hudson River is in U.S. East, not Liberty Island. Hudson River, New York, number 5, U.S. East. We're after American shad, and let's see. Large red on all except for grasshopper, cricket. Let's go to normal. Put our glasses on. Look for large red on. So let's see, large red on except for grasshopper. We have one right here. Red on everything except for cricket. That's medium depth. There we go. Looks like the American shad. A little fighter. Not too bad. American shad. Good looking fish. Let's take a look at you. Wriggles a lot. And legendary Al Williams comes through again. Hope you enjoyed the Jeb and Dan story. Not a lot to the fishing. It was a pretty easy catch, to be honest. It's green on grasshopper and red on everything else as far as lures. Tight lines.
Snagging, grail, and or sturgeon hunt, but there's a shortcut. They're pulling a